I was not happy at all. I can remember wanting to go home several times. At least in the first few months of my stay in the UK, I wanted to go home. Hello there, welcome to Margary's channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Margary. If you've been here before, welcome back. Thank you for coming. So guys, in today's video, I'm going to be giving a lowdown on my experience of schooling in the UK. For those that are new, you know that this channel is all about travel, fitness, lifestyle. But recently I've been weighing in more on travel, giving tips and tricks on how to travel better, making your travel experience a seamless one. But for today, I'm going to be bringing you my travel experience of schooling in the UK. This video is all about me spilling some tea. Ooh. As you can see, the tea is very hot right now, so you might have to grab your own cup. And while you are doing that, please consider subscribing to this channel, liking this video, and just going on this journey with me. So without further ado, I'm going to be bringing you 5 things that surprised me or that gave me a shocking experience while schooling in the UK, and this time around in England. So the very first one I'm going to be talking about is the weather. Oh boy. The UK weather, I won't say is any man's friend, especially coming from a country where we are in summer all long. Coming from Nigeria and then going to the UK, it was quite an experience for me. I can't lie about this one. Immediately I landed at the airport, guys, the very first cold wave that hit me, I found myself crying that I wanted to go back to my country. Oh hell no! The weather was just too cold, and for someone who did not know what to expect about the weather, I just came bouncing out of the airport without really knowing that there was something awaiting me. So if you are planning on schooling in the UK, just from the airport you have to catch up, wear all the padded jackets and everything before going outside, because if not, my experience might turn out to be your own. So that's for one. Then in Nigeria we have the rainy and the dry season, yeah. So we have seasons. We know that this period is going to be raining a lot, this period is going to be having more sun a lot. But in the UK, no. The weather just decides whenever it wants to rain, it decides whenever the sun wants to shine. And the funny thing, the both of them can coexist. The sun will be shining, rain will be falling, and I'm like, what sort of confused weather is this one? Who does that? But apparently that is what you should expect in Europe or in UK especially. Then another thing that really surprised me about the weather, the UK has winter and then summer as the major weather in that country. So for me, I arrived during winter period, so that was quite an experience. If I had arrived at summer, maybe it would have helped my experience a bit. But then I arrived during the winter period. The funny thing was that I got to find out that the weather, the way the sun comes up, rises and sets in the UK was completely different from what I was used to. Especially okay, let's put it this way. So during the winter, before 4 p.m. in the evening, everywhere is already so dark. I could remember finding myself very confused, what is happening here? 4 p.m. everywhere is dark. That was not an experience I was used to. And the funny thing, before the day would get bright again, it was basically a very long night. Sometimes before the day would get bright, it might be 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, depending on whenever it wants to get bright. That was quite an experience for me. And then for the summer, when you see sun will be shining around 9 p.m. in the night, and I'm like, how did God really create this country in this part of the world? It was quite an experience for me. So if you're planning on studying in the UK, so that it will not be a shock to you, just know that is what happens. And then before 4 a.m. as well, or 5 a.m. the sun has already risen. So winter has longer nights and shorter days, while summer has longer days and shorter nights. That's just what you are going to get from living in the UK, or if you are planning on schooling in the UK. That is an experience you might get to find out. But now that I'm saying it, maybe it might not be a shock for you when you get there. So that's for the very first one. So for the second one, this one I'm going to be titling it as the UK people are not the most friendliest people you might ever meet. So coming from a country where everybody is you can easily talk to the next person, you can easily joke with the next person even without having like a personal relationship with the person, you know. And I'm the bubbly type, I'm always talking to friends, you know, making friends and all that. But then getting to that country where everybody's like in the mind your business class, I got quite the shock. So it was quite an experience for me. So when you are going to the UK, don't expect that the next person you might be talking to will, you know, easily laugh with you. That is not something you should expect. So just prepare your mind. You tend to make friends on a gradual scale compared to, like, you know, some other countries or from your own home country. So don't expect that the way you interact with people in your country is the way you interact with people in the UK. No, everybody's in the mind your business. The one that annoyed me the most, as you can see, like I'm vibrating right now, the one that annoyed me the most was when, because my campus was kind of like out of the city, so we usually had to take like a bus from the city center to like outer city to attend classes. You needed to see like this. The very first time I entered the bus, I was like, is this a graveyard or something? Like everybody had their earpiece plugged, nobody was talking to each other. Until we got to this campus, I was forced to ask like somebody. I just met a random person, I just decided I must ask this, like, what is happening here? Like, why is nobody is talking to each other? Why is everybody just plugging earphones on their ear? No interaction, no, nothing whatsoever. And he was like, that's how the UK people are. And I was like, wow, this is not something I can get used to like at all. It's not even an interesting stuff. So if you're planning on going to the UK, or if you're planning on visiting or just schooling, just know that like your neighbor is not your friend until you guys, you know, interact for a very long time. Before then you can say this person is my friend. But on the other hand, it was quite easy to make friends with foreigners as well, those that came from like other countries to also school in my school at that time. So that was quite something. But then the very good part, or the part I was most grateful about, was, you know, meeting like my Nigerian people. Everything was just too easy to, you know, we became friends easily. I was able to interact easily. But before meeting them, guys, I was not happy at all. I can remember wanting to go home several times. At least in the first few months of my stay in the UK, I wanted to go home. I did not care about the master's program anymore. So that was quite an experience. Just know what to expect when you are going there. So the third one I'm going to be talking about is the education system in the UK. Guys, if you are coming from Nigeria and you are going to Europe or the UK to study, just know that everything you've learned in Nigeria, just before you even leave like Murtala Mohammed Airport, just leave it there. Because the UK education system is like 360 degrees different from what it was back in, you know, it is back in Nigeria, if I may say, at least depending on the school you attended. For someone who came from like Delta State University, I did not know what to expect. I just, you know, got an admission and I went to this UK to school. On getting there, I got the surprise of my life. Like everything was completely different. It felt like I had not even attended like university, like undergraduate level, because my master, I went to the UK for my master. So like everything was just like, wow. I received shocks like left, right and center just from, you know, going to that country. So if you are going to the UK, just know that the education system you are used to is not what you are going to meet, because the UK education system is more practical, while in Nigeria we tend to focus more on theoretical aspect of studying. But in the UK I found out that it was more practical. And then even when the theoretical part of it, like, you have to do it in such a way that even when you are researching and you are writing papers, everything have to seem like it is your own personal idea. Like it was there I got to find out like there was something called plagiarism. Like I even had to experience the effect of the plagiarism, because then I had to rewrite a paper because my lecturer was like, no, you just copied and pasted this thing, so you have to, like, you know, write it as if you are the one that did the work. So that was quite an experience. So for the education system, you need to know that what you are going to get is not what you are used to back here. And then the good thing is that they have like many options, because for me, I was doing like a master's in science like course and whatnot in chemistry, but then after I found out that it was hard for me to catch up, you know, with my weak background in university and whatnot, I decided to focus more on research. So I switched to like masters in research. So it was a good thing that I had that option. So if you find out that instead of you failing and then, you know, having like a bad result, it's better you choose the path that you want to focus on and you get better results. At least I still came out with like a 2-1, so that was like a good one. So I was quite happy about that, you know, making that choice at the end of the day. So that's for the education system. So for the next one I'm going to be talking about, this is for those that are planning or wanting to work while, you know, studying, so working as a student. So the UK has this rule, at least when I went, they had this rule of working 20 hours per week as a student. You can't work anything more than that. Believe me, you don't think you can cheat your way through that process. Like 20 hours is 20 hours. If you think that they will not catch you, sorry, you are just, you know, jeopardizing your visa and you might be packaged and sent back to your country. So if you need to know anything, that one is something that you really need to adhere to. You might think like
nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know.
Yes, they would know because you are paid, your pay slip passes through many places and then it gets to you. So there's a way for them to always know, and even the agencies that are working with, they always tend to monitor this thing, so you can't really work more than 20 hours per week. But the good thing at the end of the day is that when you are done with your schooling, you know, then we used to have like 4 months before your visa expires, so you could work like full time. You can even work 100 hours per week. Nobody's asking you any questions. So that's for when you finish. But recently I saw the news that from June, I think from June of this year 2021, they are going to be giving like 2 years visa after your study finishes. So that was like, I was like, oh. But it's good for those that are applying to school in the UK from June. So just know that that is like a development, and it's a very welcome one, because then we're all angry, like after all our school fees, there was no job, there was no this, that. But at least now with this 2 years extra, you have the time to, like, you know, look for a job. You have the time to just plan your way. If you're applying to, like, you know, permanently stay in the country, you have enough time to do all the planning and all the research and whatnot to help you do whatever you need to do. At least your school fees is not completely like a waste. So that's one very good one about this recent development. So for this very last one, this one is going to be like an advice, a tip that will help you, like, you know, easily adjust to living while schooling in the UK. So before I went to, like, you know, school, luckily and thank God, my school had like this system of, you know, making someone from the school call you to, like, you know, ask you like maybe some of the questions you might have, like accommodation issues, all that, just different questions you might have. So that was like a very good one about that school. But then you can join Facebook groups of Nigerian communities in your school, and then you can chat, you know, like somebody up. Hopefully you get like somebody that is very nice. At least before I got to school, funny enough, like I already had like my accommodation, I already even, just everything was seamless, just because I was able to meet someone on that Facebook group that helped me, like, you know, to arrange everything. So immediately I came, he now took me to the hostel, showed me everything, and like, God bless, like he made my life like very easy. After just dropping my bag, he took me to Asda and we just went to buy, like, you know, groceries and whatnot. So it really like made my life easy. So joining like Facebook groups, just looking for a community where like people that you can easily interact with and that are schooling in the same place as you, where they just gather, that will really help you. So you can just easily make friends there, and then they will help you in turn to get things on ground before even going to that country. So guys, that is it for my experience of schooling in the UK. Like, so this was my experience. I know some people's experience might be different, either for the good or for the bad, but just this, I just brought this video to make you, like, you know the things that you might expect. So don't just go there thinking that, okay, everything is like my country. No, like the UK is like a complete 360 of what Nigeria is. So I just decided to bring you this video to help you, you know, to easily adjust when you get there, if you're planning on schooling there or if you're planning on going for holidays. So that will really help you. And guys, if you've not watched my previous video where I talked about tips to help you travel better, I'll put a link of it in the description box. From that video you might still get some tips that might help you, like, you know, easily adjust while schooling in the UK or when you go and visit the UK, England to be precise. I'm not really sure about Scotland and Ireland and whatnot, but I think I'm going to be doing like a part 2 of this video because I have a friend that's schooled in Scotland and I believe he has his own share of experience. So guys, I'll see you in my next one. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel for more. And I'll see you. Bye.